A couple years ago, I got to meet an elderly gentleman who grew up as the son of a jailer. And he talked about how their family apartment was on the second floor of this two-story jail in what is now a big city in Iowa. And he recalls as a young kid, looking through the floor of their apartment and seeing the jailers down below, and how he knew almost all of them by name, and how if one of them was set free and down on his luck, how his parents would invite them into their own home. Well, this sort of structure gives us an insight into our first reading today from the Acts of the Apostles. We can imagine a similar structure that was kind of the case up to pretty recently, where the jail was on the first floor of the house, and up above was the apartment for the jailer and his family. And so in our first reading today, we hear about Paul and Silas, who are preaching the good news, who are severely beaten because of their proclaiming of the good news, who are then put in jail. And during the night, there's this tremendous earthquake as they are praying and singing psalms to God, and how the doors of the jail are broken open. And then the jailer, seeing the doors of the jail open, decides to end his life. But Paul and Silas cry out to him, no, don't end your life. We're still here. What's interesting is the gates open up of the jail, and yet they remain where they are. Why would they do that? Why would they remain there? They don't need to go anywhere because they're interiorly free. They don't need to go anywhere because in that moment they are doing God's will. There's no other place they'd rather be. And so ironically, these prisoners, we could say these Paul and Silas, are already free. They're already set free. And this jailer, seeing them going up from above, descending down to where they are, kind of like God descends to where we are, he encounters them and in his humility says, I want what you have. This jailer, in a sense, has been imprisoned by his own sin, by his own fear. And now he says, I want what you have. He wants that same freedom. And we hear he and his family are baptized, and Paul and Silas go up to the family home, and there they are greeted with the meal. It has this sort of images of Eucharist up in the upper room of this house, eating this meal. Now, it's an inspiring reading for us and reminds us that we too should have seek that same interior freedom. And as we go about our day today to think, what are the things that are impeding me from being that free, of following God, whatever He wants, whatever His will is for me. So today may we, like that jailer, be truly free, set free to live as children and follow God's will in all we do.